Happy Monday. I'm Summer. Let's talk reptiles. So I'm going to try to do a vlog style video today. I never really make those kind. I don't know if I'm any good at it. I don't know if I'm any good at it, but I'm going to give it a go. So it's like afternoon now. I've already gone through some of my earlier morning chores, which is like feeding some of these guys. I just finished cutting up a bunch of greens. I have a whole lot of things I need to do today. I also need to go to the store space and get some work done. So yeah, I'm gonna vlog my day and post this video. There'll be minimal editing. I'm trying to keep it simple. Ooh, rainbows. Nice. That's a good sign. All right, let's get it. This guy. It is. While these guys are soaking, put more water, let's go check on the giant butterfly agamas. So the butterfly agamas, I had them in a larger enclosure. I used to have my chameleons in there. Right now they're outside in their summer home, but these guys are magical escape artists and they kept getting out. Our house is not the kind of house that a reptile should be free in. We have lots of cats, like 3 cats. That's a lot of cats to me. So I had to set these guys up in a smaller enclosure for now until I get their larger enclosure built and more secure enclosure built, which is going to be in the store space. But these little guys are doing so well, and I've learned a lot about them so far in terms of their care. I'm really bummed that I had to move them from the larger enclosure because things were going well. They were eating, they started pooping. I had dialed in the parameters inside that space, but I can't risk them being harmed in our house of wild cats, because I consider cats to be wild animals still, like barely domesticated. Yeah, but let's check these guys out a little bit more. They're so awesome. So if you don't know much about butterfly agamas, specifically the giant butterfly agama, so these guys are Lepidus guttata. I believe that's how you say it. And they are rare and extremely amazing. No one has really had much success with breeding these guys in the US in captivity. Now, people say folks have not had very much success with them, but that's not true. There are giant food farms, or not giant food farms, but there's food farms in Vietnam where these guys are considered to be a delicacy. Now, before you start judging, people breeding these guys and eating them for food is no different really from people breeding cows. Actually, breeding cows is probably worse for food, because they are wildly intelligent, as are pigs, but we're not going to get on that high horse right now. So yeah, these guys are absolutely amazing. They're all babies. They're a communal species. They raise their young. They do all kinds of cool stuff, but we'll talk about these a little bit more as time goes on. I've been reading a lot of research papers about them because there's very little information about their care needs. And so far, so good. Everything that I've been learning from the research papers seems to be aligning with the behavior I'm seeing from the animals, especially as I make shifts and changes in my care parameters based on the research that I'm finding. But yeah, we'll talk about that more as time goes on. But aren't they amazing? They're just amazing. They're so awesome. Right now, they're not super colorful, but they get really big, about 2 feet long, and the males are super colorful. The females are also pretty awesome with their color. The males are spectacular, though. Alrighty, let's keep moving. Now, I have some baby bearded dragons that hatched. They're 75% red monsters, and they're absolutely amazing. So far of this first, it's 10 eggs that should be hatched right now, but so far only 5 of them have hatched. And of that 5, I have, ooh, that light is super bright. Jesus. Whoa. But it's working for this, so let's keep it going. Makes me okay. So of the 5 that have hatched so far, 4 of them have been leatherback. 4 of them have been leatherback. 4 of them have been hypo. 1 has been trans and normal scales, and 1 hasn't been hypo and is so dark. I'm so excited about that. There are 4 more eggs from that first initial clutch that haven't hatched yet. I'm still waiting for them, but I need to go and collect bugs. I'm going to show you what these guys look like. We're going to go out and collect some baby Madagascar hissing cockroaches for them, as well as some baby lobster roaches. These guys are awesome. I'm just super amazed by how small they are. Look at them. They're so cute. This little guy is trying to get, let's see if we get in focus. There it goes. So that's our little normal scale trans, and he's trying to get to the roaches that are in this cup. I have their salad in from this morning, and it looks like they've already done a little bit of damage to the salad. I try to provide multiple different types of food in containers because I don't really know what their preference are, and I'm really nervous about making sure that they are eating. This is our dark guy right here. He's pretty awesome. Yeah, so I'm gonna go collect bugs, get these guys set up with the feeders that they need. And it's honestly one of my favorite things, going out to collect insects. My colonies, I keep most of them outside, and I work really hard to breed a variety of different insects so that I can make sure that I'm meeting the needs of my reptiles. So we're gonna go out and collect some babies. I don't really feed crickets, but I'm starting to see the benefit of feeding crickets, and I'm probably going to add them to what I do, to what I feed. I just haven't done it yet, and I haven't ordered any. I need to order some pinhead crickets, but I haven't gotten around to doing that, ordering any pinheads from my suppliers. So yeah, there's lots of stuff going on in my yard, just in general. One day I'll have to do a tour of all the things that are happening here. For example, these guys are my jeweled, let's see if we can get it to focus. See. Yeah, these guys are my jewel asserted enclosures, and they are doing spectacularly well outside. I have some uromastics outside as well, some chameleons. There's a lot happening over here at my urban reptile homestead. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start collecting these bugs. The things about Madagascar babies and lobster babies is that they climb, so this is always a bit of a poop show. Let's do it. So I keep my insects in these greenhouses outside. One, I wanted to just get them out of my house. Having all the bugs inside, though a really great endeavor to breed your own insects for your reptiles, it helps in so many ways. Quality control in terms of knowing the health and condition of the insects that you're feeding. Oh yeah, lots of baby dubia too. Let me collect some of these guys. So it helps with quality in terms of knowing that the health of the insects are in really good shape. I hate these bins. I love them, but I hate them. I order them in like a whole bunch from Daiso. Love Daiso, but they're such, there it goes. They're such a pain to separate. But yeah, it helps with quality control in terms of knowing that I'm getting like good quality insects. I don't want to take too many babies. For my dubia colony, you can see here's one of my dubia adult females right here. If it's focusing, who knows if it is or not. Oh my god, let's see, focus. Okay, I'm gonna put her back away. All right, so it helps with quality, it helps with like saving money, and especially when you're breeding, it's super helpful because I can come out here and collect insects that are the perfect size. It is a bit more time consuming than just going out and purchasing what I need, but I have the peace of mind of knowing that I'll be able to have what I need to feed my babies. Now, it takes a bit of work because you have to balance how much you're feeding off versus how much you're allowing to grow back or grow up, because then you'll end up, if you overfeed your colony, like overfeed off your colony, um, you run the risk of just destroying your whole colony. So it's another part of the hobby that is kind of a hobby in and of itself for me. I have to understand the needs of my insect crew, the needs of their colony, so that they can stay nice and healthy and thriving. And I really love that that's a part of the challenge for me with raising and breeding my own insect crew. Now, here we go. This is my lobster roach colony. It's a continuous battle when I come into this colony to prevent escapes. I'm trying these egg crates that are made of plastic, so they're washable, in terms of giving more usable vertical space, because these guys can... How'd you even get in there, dude? A lobster roach ended up in here, an adult. I don't know how. Giving them more usable space. I just put it in there last week. I'm not seeing a whole bunch of babies or anyone on them, really. But I was wondering, like, oh, I'll try this and see if it makes sorting them any easier. To see if it makes sorting these guys out any easier or not. The one thing I like about lobster roaches for sure is that they're a softer body roach. So it makes it a lot easier too for the babies to eat them. Dubia roaches are a great feeder, but they do have a good bit of exoskeleton. And lobster roaches, I know this is probably gonna sound like a gross thing to say about a roach, but if you're watching this video, you probably love reptiles and you totally understand where I'm coming from with this. Lobster roaches are a pretty meaty roach. So yeah, it makes it a great feeder. This is also one of my isopod colonies as well. So these are just a bunch of like normal isopods. Yeah, I try to make sure all my insect colonies are a mixture of things. So rarely is there just one species happening. In this lobster roach colony, for example, there's also green banana roaches, there's isopods, and I think that's it. Just those three things. I'm not seeing a whole lot of babies for the grabbing. I mean, there are a whole lot of babies in here, but I'm gonna have to like really dig in to get them, because they're not really utilizing these plastic things I put in here for climbing. What I'm seeing with lobster roaches is that they do enjoy digging and burrowing, so a lot of them are underground right now. I fed all my adult or older baby insect eaters yesterday, so I don't have to really feed many of them today. The only guys I'm going to feed today that I didn't feed yesterday, or the only ones I'm going to feed today that I did feed yesterday, are my baby or my jewel lacertid crew. I've been feeding my adult jewel lacertids every day right now too, because I'm hoping for them to lay a clutch of eggs for me. So I'm trying to help them believe that there's an abundance of food available, so they should just do their thing and lay their eggs and like feel safe in the thought or idea that there's enough resources for their babies to survive. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking a hole in your head. I'm gonna collect these feeder insects, and I'll show you what my haul looks like before we go in to feed it to these guys. So I'm still collecting feeders, and one thing that I think people underestimate is the quality of feeder that you can get with isopods. So this is my dairy cow isopod colony, and I do use them as cleanup crew. They make amazing cleanup crew, but I also use them as feeder insects, especially for smaller lizards. Right now they're eating carrot, and let's see, let me change my camera setting. And if you look closely, some of them look a little orange on the inside, and that's because you can see the carrot inside of their gut. Is really, really cool. So I'm collecting some of the smaller ones so that I can feed this off to my babies. They're all gut loaded. When it comes to gut loading, I feed all of my colonies organic fruits and vegetables all the time so that they're always gut loaded. It makes this process a little simpler, especially when you have as many reptiles as I have. All right, so this is my gathering so far. I'll stop and show it to you. There are Madagascar hissing cockroaches in here. There are dairy cow isopods, baby dubia roaches. All of these guys are nymphs, and some lobster roaches. They all climb, so it'll be interesting seeing how they do in the baby bin. My baby bins do have slick walls. I don't have any Vaseline or anything on the walls like that because I don't know, it's petroleum jelly. I get paranoid about the babies potentially interacting with that, but these guys are going to give the baby some good entertainment in terms of hunting them down and exercising. So I'm going to go ahead and dust them with some calcium and put them in there. Let's go do it. All right, so I have the insects in. They're crawling around. Some of these guys are starting to run around and chase them. I think they get a little nervous what I'm watching. I haven't actually seen them eat anything yet so far, but the insects are continuously disappearing. This is the first time I'm really feeding them things that can climb. The other insects that I've been feeding them, like dubia and black soldier fly larvae, things of that nature, they can't climb and they can't get away. So I'm gonna walk away, let these guys have at it with these insects. Yeah, let's move on to our next task. So one of the things I want to make sure that I'm doing a good job of is being transparent with my breeding program. And of my little babies that I have, there's one of them that was born with a disability. It's super rare. I researched it. They said that it's usually caused by a vitamin A deficiency during gestation. So maybe during gestation, this guy didn't have, or while he was developing in the egg, didn't have a proper amount of vitamin A happening, but he was born without any eyes. I'm trying to see the best way to support him. I know that a lot of folks, if this happens to them, they would typically cull this baby, but I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to see what life looks like for him. He seems to be doing okay so far. I think the biggest challenge is going to be getting him to eat. I'll grab him and show him to you. I have him on his own in a smaller bin to make it easier for him to get his food, but he's already showing signs that he's feeling less stressed out and more comfortable. When I would go to pick him up before, he would just be an ornery ball of like, I'm gonna get you. But now I think he recognizes the sound of my voice. He's very chill. When I pick him up, he just wants me to pick him up. I've been giving him actually just real sunlight. I'm not using any artificial lighting with him, not for any particular reason other than he's already born with a disability. So I want to give him the best of everything that I can. I'll go ahead and show him to you. So this is him. It's crazy. There's some interesting things happening with this little guy. He's definitely a leatherback, but outside of that, it also appears like he has dunner spots, which is bizarre. It's bizarre because there's no dunner genes in these guys. I could be misseeing these, but it kind of looks like he has dunner spots in some ways. And if we come around, he's a pretty big boy to his face. You can say that he has a bit of an underbite happening there. And then also there's no eyes. He does have his parietal eye, but none of them seem to work. He seems to be completely blind. If I run anything over the top of his head, like shadow at the top of his head or in front of his face, he does not react to it at all. And that was when he was still pretty ornery with me. He does seem to be hunting kind of okay. So I'm going to give this guy a chance. Of course, he is not going to be a part of any breeding programs ever if he makes it that far. I've been calling him a he, but I'm actually not sure. I haven't candled his tail or tried to attempt to check. He's only 5 days old, so he's pretty young to be trying to sex him anyway. But I've just been calling him a him by default. And I also will not be sending him off into any homes either. I have a hard time trusting folks to do a good job when it comes to animals that are imperfect. And I'm responsible for this guy. I hatched him out. I've also decided not to cull him. So I need to take full responsibility for him and his life. And so, yeah, I'm going to keep him, give him the best life that I can. If he seems to be suffering too much, then I'll have to make a very different decision down the line. As soon as he gets a bit bigger, I'm going to bring him to the vet and get him checked out, get a professional opinion about him and what's going on with him. But until then, this is Justice. We named him that because Justice is supposed to be blind. Yeah, so yeah, this is Justice.
So, I was supposed to be vlogging, and there's a good reason why I never vlog. And it's because I forgot I was vlogging. Yesterday, partway through the process, I was in the middle of doing a task, and then I thought, oh shoot, I totally forgot I was vlogging. I'm really bad at that. I'm gonna try. I just woke up. I'm gonna try to finish it today because vlogging is hard to remember that you're doing it, especially when you have ADHD. I have to get up and go to the shop. I'm yawning. I'm being all tired. I did just wake up, but it's not late. It's 8 a.m. I mean, I guess I meant, wait, what? It's not early. I have to go to the shop and I have to pick something up. I started CNC cutting one of the signs for outside of this space yesterday. I'm tired. Welcome back to the vlog.
So I ran to the space and I grabbed the sign so that I could make the initial cut. It's such a small amount that I need to shave away, like 1/4 of an inch. So I need to take, oh, I hate doing this. I need to take the guard off my saw. I hate doing this for a number of reasons, but one, because it's dangerous. Oh man, here we go. So I removed the guard from my table saw. I just need to cut away a little sliver of this wood. And I hate doing that because it takes away the wood catch, which keeps table saws from shooting the wood back out at you. Which is a very real risk when it comes to cutting with table saws. But I need to take it off because all I need to cut away is like the smallest little sliver, about 1/4 of an inch. All right, I'll get to cutting. Whew. All right, I got that done. So this is the base for one of our outside signs that's going to be at the space. It's basically going to say in big letters, come in with an arrow at the bottom. I have to cut the letters out individually, and there's going to be LED lights behind the letters. The whole sign is going to be all black. And then when the LED lights are on, it will illuminate the words. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't seen this anywhere before. So I'm guessing on what it is going to end up looking like. next up is spraying my chameleons down. So, ooh, there we go. I do have these enclosures set up to be misted automatically. They're plumbed for that. But I accidentally, somehow, I don't even know what to call it, blew out one of the sprinkler lines. So when I turn it on, there is a geyser of water that comes out of the ground, out of the, broken hole. So I need to fix that, and I haven't done it just quite yet. So I'm going to spray these guys down. They're not quite awake yet. They usually wake up once the sun really hits their enclosure, and then they start warming up. So I spray it down. Now they'll wake up to droplets of water all over their plants. This day is already off to a lot. Next on the agenda, we have to drive to the FedEx hub for a pickup. Let's get it. So today's an interesting day because I have to go to the FedEx hub to pick up a male Leolepis gutata giant butterfly agama. I'm trying to get better with learning the scientific names for these things. One, because people sound hella smart when they use the scientific names, and two, I look at keeping reptiles as a science. It is a science. Yeah, so I want to learn more about the scientific side of these things, and I already am with all the scientific papers I read and all of that stuff, but yeah, I just want to get better with the scientific names. So we're going to the hub to pick up a giant butterfly agama or a Leolepis gutata, and I also have I'm adding to my small breeding group of red-sided curly-tailed lizards. I don't know how to say their scientific name yet. Or they're also called Hispaniolan curly-tailed lizards. So I'm adding some females to the group I already have. No one is really working with them. I have some eggs in the incubator right now. I don't know if I'm sure someone somewhere has hatched these out before in the US, but I don't know. I've heard nothing about them. There's very little information out in the world about them. I've been reading scientific papers, white papers, in order to learn about their care, and even then they are not very well studied. So yeah, so I have a group of them coming to my front door, and then I have to go and pick these guys up from the hub, so my timing should align perfectly. Let's go. So pick this guy up. And I spent so much time at this particular FedEx hub that I don't even have to give my tracking number anymore. It's it's pretty great, honestly. I love it. It's usually the same person always working. She's really awesome, and yeah, I like her a lot. We have good conversations about reptiles and stuff like that. And so yeah, I walk in, she sees me, she goes gets my box, and she brings it to the front, sign for it. I love that. I love that. I love building relationships with people, so it just makes me feel really awesome. So we picked this guy up. We gotta head home. Should get there before 10:30, which means we'll get there before the other box gets dropped off. Oh, perfect timing. Let's get it. All right, I'm back home. I had to stop at PetSmart and pick up a few things. Let's see how I did with my timing. Excellent. I beat them here. They have not arrived yet, and that was my goal. So now that I'm home, I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy settled in and show them to you as much as I possibly can. I really want to make a serious go of working with the giant butterfly agamas, as I mentioned earlier in this long video. Why am I singing? No. Anyway, I'm gonna get this guy settled in, and then I have to feed my mammals. He is a very good size, so I'm very excited. All right, so I'm gonna start the process of taking this guy out of his bag. He's larger, much larger than my other crew. Like, he's probably at least a year, maybe even too old, who knows. I'm going to taking my time. So I want to be very careful with him. One, no one ever wants to get bitten. And I mean, it's not a big deal if he does bite me. It just doesn't, it just hurts. But I want to make this oh my God. Guys, he is absolutely, calm down, calm down. He is incredible. He is absolutely incredible. I'm going to put him in his enclosure. I don't want to stress him out too much more. Holy fuck. He's beautiful. He's very stressed. Butterfly agamas move really, really quickly. Whoa. I mean, I can't get over it. He is more spectacular than I expected him to be. I'm going to show him to you and then we're going to leave him alone. Okay. Whoa. Okay. There. All right. I'm going to leave him alone. He is really spectacular. So I don't want to stress him out any more than he is already stressed out, but he is absolutely magnificent. I'm trying to move very carefully with him. The enclosure I have him set up in right now is a temporary enclosure. They do like to climb and they are very, very good at climbing. We don't know a whole lot about this species. They are from coastal beaches and sand dunes of Vietnam. We do know that they like to dig, so there's lots of substrate at the bottom where they can dig. This enclosure is very tall, so I have multiple basking lights set up. I have 2 basking lights set up at top, 1 set up at the bottom, because they're from a tropical hot place. Oh my God, oh my God. Wow. Okay, I have other responsibilities to do today. I can't stare at him forever. I'm going to get some food in these enclosures for both these guys, the littles and this guy. Wow. Oh, wow. I'm in the store space now, about to use the CNC to work on some of our signage, work on some of our enclosure stands as well, and I need to feed some snakes. This video is long. I told you I'm new to vlogging. I don't really fully even understand how to do this. This feels like the most random video I've ever made. Yeah, but I'm gonna cut these letters. Yeah, I'm gonna cut out these letters and end this video with some snake feeding. Yeah? Yeah. In true me fashion, I totally forgot to record the process of me feeding the snakes. There's some remnants of the aftermath. There's a little blood trail there. These guys are all over the place. I have mixed species in this tank. Oh, here's one of my Radix albinos still eating. Gosh, she's so beautiful. Look at her. She's just absolutely gorgeous. So I have mixed species in this tank because they're all babies. And they all came from the same place. They're in a quarantine setup together. And when I move them into their bigger enclosures, they'll be separated. Let's see if this guy wants some. Yeah, good job, buddy. They're just eating cut up pinky mice for this meal. I also fed them some rosy minnows as well. that today was their first time getting rosy minnows. So I'm really kind of bummed I didn't record that part of the process. Many of them are already full, but you do get to see just how absolutely adorable these guys are. That guy right there is one of my melanistics or Henri's. And this guy's just so colorful. I am so exhausted and my body hurts. Trying to record a vlog was interesting. This video is super long, so if you made it this far, I really appreciate you. I'll try to do more of this. It was kind of a like nice way to produce content. Yeah, I'll try to make more of these, but I'll simplify it and make it shorter because this was long. Whew, I'm tired. I'm gonna lay here and watch reruns of Arrested Development. Bye.